Zacatecas is a place where history, culture, and the potential of its mining wealth have produced something unique and exceptionally appealing. Everything in Zacatecas catches the eye of its visitors. Its historical development, stately colonial architecture, monumental, enigmatic archaeological remains, extraordinary museums, colorful feasts and traditions, and of course, its fascinating, magical towns. The state is located in the north-central part of Mexico, surrounded by and connected to other important states through a network of express roads and modern highways. The state's capital, also called Zacatecas, is nestled in a ravine between two imposing hills. It is a city with a radiant face, dotted with magnificent buildings and colonial churches. The very noble city of Our Lady of the Zacatecas, as it was called by King Philip II of Spain. The city's beauty and cultural wealth was fully recognized in 1993 when it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Zacatecas is the present embodiment of a trip to the past, not only because of the atmosphere of nostalgia that can be felt in its streets, squares, and museums, but also because of the timelessness of traditions like the andanzas or callejoneadas, which are utterly enjoyable walking tours along the city's streets, small squares, and enchanting alleys. Zacatecas boasts some of the best museums in all of Mexico, and many of them are housed in large colonial buildings of great historical significance. In fact, Zacatecas is the city with the greatest number of museums in the country outside Mexico City. Some examples are Pedro Coronel Museum, occupying a building that during the 17th and part of the 18th centuries housed the main college of the Jesuit order. It now serves as a showcase for a fabulous collection of works of art donated by Zacatecan artist Pedro Coronel. The Rafael Coronel Museum occupies an ancient building that was once the great Franciscan main convent of the province of Zacatecas, and it houses a vast selection of artworks donated by artist Rafael Coronel. There is a remarkable collection of more than 10,000 Mexican masks. Or the picturesque Francisco Goitia Museum, which, in addition to being one of the state's oldest museums, is housed in an elegant classical building and exhibits a large selection of contemporary works by renowned plastic artists from Zacatecas. Of the Manuel Felgueres Abstract Art Museum, suffice it to say that it is one of a kind in Latin America, being a legacy of the generosity of another great Zacatecan plastic artist, Manuel Felgueres, of whom a great number of works are exhibited, together with the works of some 120 creators of abstract art from the last half-century. Art does not happen by chance in Zacatecas. Everywhere in the city, there are traces of art of every style from all historical ages, of which the Guadalupe Museum is an unmistakable example, with its outstanding collection of colonial art, which is proof that the most renowned painters of pre-independent Mexico lived here and captured on canvas the religious feelings of the times, along with other anonymous artists who created dramatic images of saviors, virgins, and saints in modest offerings and altarpieces, or left their mark in colorful, unique huichol embroidery, which is exhibited in the Zacatecan Museum, located in the building that for almost a century housed the state's mint. Zacatecas is preeminently a mining place, as reflected by its rugged topography. And for its visitors' enjoyment and admiration, there is a guided tour of the depths to give visitors an idea of what working in the mines was like. And after descending into the bowels of the city, the excitement continues as visitors board the spectacular cable car that traverses the sky of Zacatecas for a magnificent view of the entire city, and then stops at one of its historical symbols, Cerro de la Bufa, or Bufa Hill. Zacatecas is a journey to the distant past, represented by the important archaeological areas of La Quemada and Alta Vista, two spectacular archaeological remains that stand as perpetual witnesses to the pre-Columbian roots of the region. La Quemada, located at a half-hour drive away from the city, has been subject to differing interpretations by historians and archaeologists, and some have suggested that this place could have been the legendary Chicomostoc, birthplace of the ancient Aztecs. Alta Vista is an archaeological site located in the northwest corner of the state. and it was an astronomical and ceremonial center of the Chalchihuites culture. In addition to its historical and cultural heritage, Zacatecas is also home to 5 fabulous magical towns located in all corners of the state. Mexico's magical towns are small cities or villages that stand out due to their particular beauty and love of tradition. They are a reflection of everyday Mexico and its people, the keepers of the country's traditional values and its historical and cultural heritage. The first to receive the designation, Jerez, is better known for being the birthplace of poet Ramón López Velarde. It is famous for its quaint, beautiful architecture and the infectious, perennial joie de vivre of its inhabitants. El Teúl, as it is popularly known, is truly an enchanting place. Nestled among sombrero-shaped hills, this town is surrounded by unsullied landscapes that evoke a classical scene from Mexico's golden age of cinema, and is awakened every day by the fragrant aroma of agave wort, soon to be distilled into the region's delicious mezcal. Founded in the late 16th century as the Royal Mines of Our Lady of the Pines Range, Pinos is another of Zacatecas' magical towns and lies along the path of the seemingly endless Camino Real de Tierra Adentro, the Royal Inland Road. Its mines and mezcal plantations forged an economic emporium whose wealth is reflected in many important religious buildings and zealously guarded age-old, unique traditions. There is no town like Nochistlán to represent the true spirit of Zacatecas, since not only was it the home of the proud Caxcan Rays, but it also was the first site of the city of Guadalajara. Furthermore, not many other places can boast of having a mariachi tradition as old as in Nochistlán, where the state's very best musicians are found. Sombrerete, on the other hand, houses important artistic and cultural legacies, and, as a result of the immense riches extracted from its mines, is home to an extraordinary collection of architectural wonders that is second only to the city of Zacatecas in number of colonial buildings. And if we talk about mining, we have to talk about Fresnillo, from whose bowels have sprung rivers of silver since the 16th century, which have filled the world's treasure chests. Fresnillo is also the birthplace of an important group of illustrious characters that have brought great renown to Zacatecas, like Francisco Goitia, Manuel M. Ponce, Tomás Méndez, and Pedro Valtierra, among others. But, without a doubt, Fresnillo's top tourist attraction is the miraculous image of the Holy Child of Atocha, which is venerated in its sanctuary in the nearby village of Plateros, one of Mexico's most visited religious destinations. Because of its mineral wealth, the city of Zacatecas was for centuries a crossroads and a meeting place for miners, friars, merchants, and all kinds of travelers. And the power of this captivating magnetism can still be felt in its streets, squares, and alleys flooded with visitors who come year-round to enjoy a variety of lively and colorful festivals, some of which stand out among the best in Mexico, like the Holy Week festivities or the International Folklore and Street Theater festivals. In like manner, thousands of visitors make Zacatecas their preferred destination for meetings and conventions throughout the year, as well as the site for other kinds of events. The city offers an ample selection of venues with the best infrastructure and leading-edge technology, like the great Zacatecas Conventions Palace, with an area of 5,000 square meters, or 1.23 acres, and a strategic location which allows easy access from anywhere within the city, only minutes away from the hotel, tourist and commercial districts, as well as from the city's international airport. Zacatecas has a good number of hotels located within the city, with a total of a little more than 3,000 rooms, as well as an ample variety of local and international cuisine restaurants, travel agencies, cinema complexes, theaters, libraries, coffee shops, squares and parks, bars and clubs, shopping malls, and of course, a great number of various attractions and museums, all of which are included in guided visits and tours. But the ultimate event in the city is the opportunity to live in it and live the experience of being one of its residents, if only for a short time. Zacatecas is one of the most beautiful pieces of the Mexican mosaic and one of the most appealing to visitors. A great destination that has lots to offer. Zacatecas sounds good.